In this section, we'll discuss how to use content pages and fragments to create dynamic and engaging content. If you've followed along with the Build New Sites with LifeRay DXP module, you may recall that content pages are the default page type in LifeRay DXP. Widget pages, a separate page type built solely using widgets, are still available in DXP 7.4 and may be selected for pages with specific purposes, such as a widget page created using the blog template. Since content pages are the default page type, most of the pages on Mondego sites will be content pages. Content pages still allow the web team to add necessary widgets, but they are easier to edit and design. The editing UI for content pages contains drag-and-drop elements in the Fragments and Widgets tabs, which are used to quickly build out pages. Content pages are designed to be used with minimal configuration and have two main editing modes: page design and content editing. The default editing mode for content pages is page design. Page design gives users the option to edit and change the page layout, add or revise content, and add fragments and widgets. Page design contains the following action elements in the sidebar: fragments and widgets, browser, page design options, and comments. The Fragments and Widgets section opens a menu with two tabs containing all available fragments and widgets. The Browser section provides options related to page elements and page content, as well as general and style features for elements. The Page Design Options section includes options for managing the master page and style book associated with the content page. The Comments section allows permitted users to add or reply to comments on specific fragments. The second editing mode is content editing. Content editing is a slightly more restricted editing mode containing only two of the action elements seen in page design: browser and comments. Content editing allows users to edit the content on a page without impacting the layout. In this mode, the layout is fixed, and no new fragments and widgets can be added. As discussed in the module, Add Users and Manage Permissions, LifeRay DXP recommends the principle of least permissions when granting users access to the platform. By granting a user the Update Page Content permission, an editor can revise and update the text on a page without modifying the layout established by the page designer. If the editor has recommendations for the layout, they can access the Comments section in the sidebar and leave a comment. The Mondego web team has designers that manage the design and layout of pages to ensure quality and uniformity. However, the content creators need to add content to the various pages on the site. By granting the content creator site role permission to update page content, users with that role can add relevant content to the pages without worrying about the design. Now that we've discussed our two editing modes, let's take a closer look at the specific action elements available with content pages. The Fragments and Widgets section, which is accessed using the plus icon at the top of our sidebar, contains drag-and-drop elements used to build content on a page. Fragments are predefined segments that contain editable elements including text, images, or links. These are the primary building blocks of content pages. The editable elements in Fragments can be replaced with custom content directly on the page or mapped to the existing site content using the browser sidebar. Widgets are applications that can be added to a page. Widgets are added to content pages much in the same way that they are added to widget pages, though configuration options differ between the two page types. A large variety of both fragments and widgets are available out of the box in LifeRay DXP. If needed, custom fragments and widgets can be created to further adapt the platform to the desired look and feel for your business. The flexibility of content pages allows the Mondego web team to create well-designed pages with a variety of content. The team can quickly drag and drop elements to design a page and get a sense of the appearance and layout before populating it with content. Fragments also allow the team to directly add and edit page elements with or without mapping it to existing content. Out of the box, LifeRay DXP contains the following fragment types: layout elements, which define drop zones and provide organizational structure. These include the grid and container fragments. Basic components are simple elements that add basic functionality, such as button, card, image, paragraph, and more. Content display fragments display site content individually or as a collection. These are similar but not identical to content management widgets. Content display fragments can feature a single content item or a collection. Cookie banner fragments display a banner for cookie acceptance. The banner adds a notification which informs users that the site uses cookies and prompts them to accept. Cookies are enabled and managed in the control panel. Featured content includes multi-part fragments that display prominent content, such as banners, features, and highlights. Footers are fragments that serve as page footers and navigation bars, while navigation bars are fragments that serve as headers and navigation bars. These fragment types allow additional or alternate navigation to be added. And finally, menu display is a fragment used to add a menu bar anywhere on a page. These additional menu bars can be based on the site's public or private page hierarchy. The Mondego web team can easily create a dynamic landing page for the main site using the out-of-the-box fragments. For instance, a banner fragment welcomes guests and prompts them to sign in or create an account. Using the grid component, they can set a row of cards with information about specific account types. They can add a unique footer with a distinct menu for contact information, FAQs, career options, and more. Many fragment elements can be edited and configured directly from the UI, including styles, text, hyperlinks, images, and layout. Layout, text, and images can be managed directly on the page. Layout is changed by simply dragging elements around the page. Text and images are changed by double-clicking the element to edit text or set an image. You can also manage these elements in the browser, which is also where we set styles and hyperlinks. So, if you wanted to change the banner image pictured here, you would simply double-click on the image and select a new one. Similarly, double-clicking the heading element would let you change the text. These changes can be done from the browser. When the browser is open and an element selected, several tabs may appear in the lower half of the sidebar, including General, Styles, Links, and Mapping, which are used to configure things like content or image source, overall style, and links. We'll discuss the browser in more detail on the next slide. Fragments can also easily be duplicated or saved so that the same content or configuration can be reused in the future on other pages. One new configuration setting in LifeRay DXP 7.4 is the ability to hide or show fragments for different devices. The 4 screen icons at the top of the page represent desktop, tablet, landscape phone, and phone. Selecting a different screen and navigating to the Styles tab gives you the option to set whether a fragment is visible on that device or not. For example, the Mondego banking site has a fragment containing a link to download the mobile banking app. Since this fragment is not needed for desktop users, they can choose to hide the fragment if the device is not a phone or tablet. Now let's look at our browser. The browser sidebar added in LifeRay DXP 7.4 is used to manage the content on a page. It contains 2 primary tabs at the top, Page Elements and Page Content. The first tab, Page Elements, hierarchically displays all elements on a page. Fragments with multiple elements can be expanded to view all of their components, including text, images, and links. Selecting elements in the browser also opens additional tabs below the Page Elements section. These tabs include General, Styles, Mapping, Image Source, and Link. General includes basic configuration settings specific to the selected element. Styles provides styling options, including margins, padding, font size and color, background, and more. Additionally, under Styles, you can manage an element's size or visibility on different devices. The Mapping tab appears for elements that have content from elsewhere on the platform mapped to them, and the Link tab displays when you have a link element. The second tab, Page Content, lists all content on the page and allows actions, such as editing and managing permissions, to be performed. On the Page Content tab, content is divided into categories, including inline text, collections, documents, and web content articles. Selecting the pencil icon next to an inline text item, for example, places your cursor in the chosen text box. The Options menu next to other content items shows you available options for that item, which may include permissions, editing, or viewing. If a Mondego page creator needs to quickly see the specific elements and content on a page and apply styles, they can use the browser to quickly navigate to the appropriate element. They can quickly reorder fragments in the Page Elements tab and adjust the appearance of fragments under Styles. To quickly view or edit all of the content pieces, they can switch to the Page Content tab. The Page Design Options section includes two tabs, Master and Stylebook, with options that can be applied to a page to define overall style and layout. Master lists all available master pages. Stylebooks lists all available style books. Additional page design settings, including look and feel and advanced settings, can be accessed by clicking the More link at the top. Content pages will automatically use the default master page, usually blank, and stylebook. Once a new master page template or stylebook has been created, they can be set as the default and will automatically apply to any new content pages. We'll discuss these in a later video. If the Mondego web team comes up with a new master page template, they can apply it to a content page under the Page Design Options tab. Likewise, they can update a page's appearance by choosing a new stylebook. Our last section in the sidebar is the Comments section. Comments are annotations that can be added to fragments without altering any of their contained content. Comments can be used to facilitate team member collaboration while creating content pages, and notify specific individuals of suggested page updates using the Mentioning Users feature. Mentions must be enabled in order to tag users in the comment. This is managed in the control panel under Instance Settings, Community Tools, or at the site scope under Configuration, Site Settings, Community Tools. Users are then mentioned by using the @ symbol and the user's username. Keep in mind, the mentioned user must have the proper permissions to view the comment. Comments are especially useful for the Mondego web team, since they can allow other approved users to review a page and leave input without them changing the layout or fragments on the page. Let's review how the Mondego group can use content pages. To create dynamic, engaging pages for the Mondego site, the web team uses content pages, which give them flexibility and speed in page creation, especially when they need to work collaboratively. The Mondego web team includes users with different roles and task assignments, such as page designers and content creators. The page designers use fragments in page design mode to quickly build the envisioned page. Content creators are granted the Update Page Content permission and used Content Editing mode to directly add content to the pages and can leave comments on fragments for the page designers to review. We've reached our knowledge check. The Mondego web team creates content pages by dragging and dropping blank and blank onto the page. Mondego content creators can edit content blank using blank mode, while the page creators can manage the design and layout in blank mode. The Mondego web team can use the blank sidebar to easily navigate the hierarchical arrangement of elements, fragments, and content, and to manage styles, permissions, and other settings. Mondego's content creators can leave blank on specific elements on a page to give page designers feedback on the layout.